Will the real Timothy Regal please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up.
Nah, I'm very comfortable sitting, thank you.
Damn.
Alex, what the hell are we talking about this week? There's a lot of...
Wrestling!
Wow, that was obnoxious.
That was super obnoxious. Folks, welcome to Off the Chest with Timothy Regal. I am Timothy Regal.
And I'm Ellie!
You're about to get smacked with a pillow is what you're about to do.
The buffoon who's for whatever reason, this terrible intro is Alex McCarthy, who claims his mind is 7 stars, but I think it got electrocuted at some point today. That voice you heard in the background is Alex's wonderful, much smarter wife, Margaret. Alex, there was a lot of wrestling this weekend. I watched a lot of it. You watched some of it. I think between you and me, we probably watched most of it. Shout out to our...
Shout out to Nikki, Kenny, Johnny, Mitch, and Mikey, the Spirit Squad.
Why?
Didn't you wish you remember the Spirit Squad growing up, Regal?
No.
You're wearing green.
No, I definitely did not wish I was a member of the Spirit Squad. The Spirit Squad was stupid. It was dumb. They took a bunch of really good wrestlers from OVW and turned them into a fucking comedy gimmick. DX beat them, pretty much castrated them. As far as pro wrestling wise, they essentially castrated those guys and then shipped them back to OVW. And if you notice, only one of those guys went on to have a career in the WWE.
Kenny!
No. Nikki, of course, went on to beat Dolph Ziggler. Although I will say, dude, Kenny Doan's indie stuff this year, his Stuff and Beyond is excellent. Great.
Yeah.
Love Kenny Doan. Ken Doan basically playing a freaking psychopath in Beyond Wrestling. And it's on uncharted territory, and it was excellent. Hopefully, we're going to see him in season 2, which is next Thursday night, Alex.
Yeah. Gosh, is there any wrestling on next week?
A little bit.
We should save that for next week. Do a full preview
of
all the wrestling.
We'll be talking about a lot of that next week, obviously.
Because we need to watch all of the wrestling.
Bernie!
Everyone gets wrestling. Regal, I'm supposed to be giving a talk in Clinton tonight, but I'm here on the podcast because everybody gets a podcast. Podcasts for everybody. Free podcasts right here off the chest of Timothy Regal, and I'm here to talk on the podcast.
Bernie, we're already free. We don't charge people.
Free podcasts for everybody. Everybody gets a podcast. Everybody will get their own podcast. Feel the Burn 2020.
Even Donald? Will he get a podcast?
Donald will get a podcast. Donald will pay for the podcasts. The 1% will pay for the podcast. We're going to tax the 1% to pay for the podcast. And every man, woman, and child in this country will get a podcast. Go to BernieSanders.com. Find out about the podcast. Free podcasts for everybody. Feel the Burn. Bernie Sanders 2020. Thank you very much, Regal, for giving me this platform on this podcast to talk about the free podcasts for everybody.
Do you seriously have so little to talk about this week that you're going to spend that much time on that bit?
Bernie's here, man.
Everybody gets a bit.
I think
bits for everybody. You get a bit.
I
you get a bit.
Something at you.
I'm like old white Jewish Oprah, but with the government.
Alex, I think Bernie's already tapped into pro wrestling because in pro wrestling, I think everybody's already got a podcast. So
everybody has a podcast. I was at the 3XW Latino Heritage Festival back in 2016. Had a great time. Saw free wrestling for everybody at the Latino Fest. I'm going to be going to the Latino Fest, I think, again this weekend. I heard my good friend, Senor Tigre, is going to be there.
Wow.
any chance I could get a free Pepsi Cola while I am here?
Stop.
Feel the burn.
Give me something someone give me something to throw.
Can I please have...
Hey, let's be honest. That's not the worst guest we have that shows up. So let's. But Alex, we should talk about. Can you want to talk about that a little bit? This Saturday or this Sunday, I should say.
I don't want to
Sunday.
talk about it, Regal.
Why?
Hola, Regal. It is
my God.
your friend, Senor Tigre.
Senior Tigre. It's been a while since you've been here.
It is.
Senior
I was at
Tigre.
Rugged Pro.
Margaret just left.
Margaret, my friend, where are you going?
Fuck off.
But Senior Tigre, yes, you are going to be at the Latino American Heritage Festival, I hear.
I will be there. I will be managing my good friends, I believe, the Sentais.
The Sentais?
Regular size Sentai and Super Sentai.
Super Sentai.
Big Sentai.
Big Sentai.
Yes.
Is Moondog going to be there?
Haven't you heard?
What?
I think Moondog's dead.
Oh yes, that is correct. Moondog was killed by the Horde.
I believe so.
So yeah, unfortunately, rest in peace, Moondog.
Yes, Moondog will not be there.
Do you know who else? Is there anybody else that is going to be at the Latino American Heritage Festival that we should know?
I believe my good friend, the one called Manders, he will be there. I believe Valentino Loca will be there. The Sentais. I'm not sure. Lots of people will be there.
Lots of lucha libre wrestling action this weekend in Des Moines. And if you're one of our Des Moines fans, listen to this. 3XW showing going to be running multiple times throughout the day.
El Bigote, the Amazon, Starman, Miranda Gordy, the Yellow Dog. Lots of people.
Multiple times throughout the day. Yes, Senior Tigre?
12:30, 1, and 2.
Alrighty. That's going on. But, Senior Tigre?
Yeah.
Are you going to come to SCW the night before?
I might have to be somewhere else.
Are you booked?
I might be booked.
Alright. But, Alex, we got SCW Fallout. Aftermath. Why do I keep wanting to say Fallout? SCW Aftermath coming up this Saturday back at the Walcott Coliseum in Walcott, Iowa.
Does this mean I have to go to English?
Why?
Because when I was a kid, I always went to English Aftermath.
Wow. Folks, we thought Alex's jokes couldn't get any worse. We were wrong. Anybody else? Aftermath, we do know Travis Titan cashing in his rematch clause.
Mm-hmm.
Going to take on the SCW Pro champion Xander Killen.
What do you think about that one, Regal?
I'm going to be honest with you. If you have a rematch clause, I'm always in the favor of waiting at least a little bit.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wonder, is Travis Titan emotionally ready? Is he a lot of times you're desperate to win that title back because you were the champion. You want to, and you feel you wrongly lost the title. You're gonna be desperate. It could affect your judgment.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Travis Titan's a wrestler's wrestler. He's a pro's pro.
Right.
I know Travis, and we've always said Travis is a fighter. He's going to give it 110%.
Yep.
I mean, so on the other side of the coin, it also could favor in his state because Xander Killen just won the title 2 weeks ago, and he took a beating in that match. Well, both guys took a beating in that match.
Yeah.
So is Killen 100% ready for this match? It's tough to say. I mean, it's going to be an interesting match. Really, that is the only match we have announced for this Saturday.
I believe so.
But I do know the Iowa champion, the Corn Belt Cowboy Steve Manners, is going to be in attendance. The Shug going to be in attendance. I know Big Match Ja gonna be coming looking. Big Match Ja, man. Ja C, as I've said, when Ja C isn't talking,
right,
that's when you need to be concerned.
right.
And Ja C ain't said a word.
He has not said a word
Since Anniversary.
No, not to Stupid Pro. No.
So, I don't even want to know what's going on in his headspace right now, what he's going to be like come this Saturday. But, I mean, it's going to be a real interesting night, of course. There's a lot of things going down, a lot of things happened at Anniversary that we talked about last week.
Yes.
And this is the aftermath of Anniversary. It's going to, I mean, there's a lot of, anything can happen. I mean, things have gotten wild and off the rails in Walcott before. I think there's only one match announced, but I think you never know. There will
probably be more than one match.
There will definitely be more than one match.
Unless it gets made a 2.5-hour Iron Man match.
I mean, I'd watch that. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
But, we'll see. So, Alex, what all shows did you watch this weekend?
I watched a lot of TurboGrafx.
So you watched, literally, I think between the two of us, we probably watched all of the TurboGrafx tournament. Just about. But obviously, I was working during the day, so I got off work. I got home in time to see the finish.
Yeah.
I did notice some good friends of the pod were attending the show.
Yes.
Shout out to our boys Matthew Hollinger.
Yep.
And the captain, Midnight Guthrie. Dude, I'm going to shout out the captain.
Yeah.
Because the captain was there. He paid for a front row seat to all three shows. And during the Nick Gage Invitational Tournament, he was helping the ring crew clean up after every match.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Dude, and he wasn't the only one, man. I will say this. Obviously, you know, we've talked about this on the show. Deathmatch wrestling is not for everybody.
Right.
Alex is not a fan.
Not.
I did watch the Nick Gage Invitational Tournament. But I will say I want to shout this out. Whether you love or hate deathmatch wrestling, the fan base of deathmatch wrestling, a lot of great people.
Yeah.
We know deathmatch wrestling fans. We know we're a niche market of a niche market. We're essentially we're essentially the hardcore music, like we're like the hardcore music scene.
Right.
When it comes to professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And so, like, the fans that were sitting between the matches, they're helping clean up at ringside. They're checking. They're making.
Sounds your phone, Regal.
They're checking on the guys. It was a cool show, great show. But yeah, man. And shout out to Midnight, one of the best dudes in the wrestling business. Didn't have to help, but literally, I look up at the screen between matches, and he was there every single time. You know who else was there cleaning up?
The man called Steve.
Old boy, one called.
Right. What? Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Old one.
Slap myself.
The one called Manders was there.
Yeah.
I sent him a text that said "nice shirt."
What was he wearing?
His All Japan Champions Carnival T-shirt.
Nice.
So, nah, man. I mean, I'll talk a little bit about the Nick Gage Invitational. First off, if you're a fan of deathmatch wrestling, this is one of the best shows you're going to watch. And I will say, because back in the day, unless you were there live, you never got a live deathmatch tournament.
Right.
So, when you would watch it on video, they would cut between the matches. Here's the thing when you're watching a live iPay-per-view deathmatch tournament.
Yeah.
Essentially, in a deathmatch tournament, between every match, there is a slight intermission because you have to clean up from the match that just happened, and then you have to set up the next match.
Right.
So, shout out to a good friend of mine, Mr. Dave Prazak, and not a friend, but a man I've met, a man I've talked to, an acquaintance, if you will, a guy I'm a huge fan of, Mr. KG, Kevin Gill, essentially doing Twitter Q&As between every match, trying to keep the fans entertained,
right,
while we watched as they cleaned up and cleaned up and set up the next ones. And they are an amazing commentary team together. I've always said, Dave Prazak, why has no national company, especially now, hired that man?
Yeah, hard
He's
to say.
one of the best. He's one of the best commentators, best creative minds. I can sit here and sing the praises of Dave Prazak all day long. Obviously, somewhat of a mentor to me in the business. I've commentated with him. I've worked with him on a ton of shows back in the day.
Yeah.
One of the coolest guys you're ever going to get to meet in the wrestling business. A man who's just a wealth of knowledge. A guy who Dave started his own wrestling hotline in Chicago, I believe, when he was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And then parlayed that, of course, into getting into the Chicago indie scene. Of course, a member of the legendary Gold Bond Mafia with CM Punk and Colt Cabana. And then, of course, now mainly, along with being a commentator for a lot of indie promotions, is the main creative basically the man behind Shimmer Women's Athletes.
Yeah.
Just a all-out great dude. And him and KG were on their game. I mean, and Dave's been calling deathmatch tournaments essentially since 2001. So, no stranger to knowing how to call a deathmatch tournament. Have we discussed on the show that is like the one bucket list thing I haven't done?
Really?
Yeah. I haven't been, one of my bucket list dreams is to call a death match.
Oh, just one?
It didn't have to be a full show at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to call a deathmatch tournament show.
Yeah.
But if I could just literally, I have not been able to commentate. I've commentated some hardcore stuff in SCW, but we've never done. Obviously, SCW does not do death matches.
No.
And as when on our former network, we literally dubbed me for an interview purposes at one point the deathmatch expert of the state of Iowa. So
You think that's true?
I think I can make an argument for it.
You think you know more than Danny Havoc?
I mean,
He doesn't live here.
Danny doesn't even live here anymore. I mean, as far as wrestling fandom, though,
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna find many wrestling fans in the state of Iowa who've watched more deathmatch stuff than I have. Because my tapes of deathmatches go back to '97. So.
Wow. You ever watched your Japanese deathmatch?
I've obviously. I mean, I've watched Stranglemania, but I think everybody's watched Stranglemania. The infamous Juggalo Championship Wrestling tape with Cactus Sack and Lama Namanumi. I'm trying to Leatherface. But no, my deathmatch stuff really for me kicked up when No Limits started, and I was able, and obviously them working so closely with IWA, I was able to get IWA Mid-South deathmatch stuff, and then from IWA got with Smart Mark and got CZW Tournament of Death deathmatch shows, and some Japanese stuff off and on here and there. But yeah, no, most of my deathmatch stuff early on was CZW and IWA, and then obviously deathmatch went away for a while. It's kind of it's had a resurgence thanks to Game Changer.
Yeah.
So, and I definitely appreciate the fact, and I'll shout out one of the On Point Wrestling, one of the companies that kept it going. Of course, IWA Mid-South's always kept deathmatch wrestling kind of in the fold, but I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge deathmatch fan. I will say, and this is where I always say, deathmatch wrestling has changed. There is one thing you don't see in death matches anymore.
What's that?
Unexposed chair shots.
Really?
Now, most death matches, you might see a few, but generally, if it is, it's because somebody wanted to do one.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you'd see multiple ones a match. A lot of times, it's gone more to barbed wire, light tubes, gusset plates, carpet strips, that kind of stuff. But no, I do believe deathmatch wrestling has definitely tried to cut back on the head trauma.
Good.
So, like I said, even deathmatch wrestling has changed up a little bit. I mean, and you've got guys out there, and one thing is about deathmatches, you've got guys out there now, like your Matthew Justices, your Mance Warner was out there, Alex Colon, Ricky Shane Page, guys that they're doing deathmatches, but they can also work.
Right.
And I won't say any names, but back in the day there were some deathmatch guys that pretty much that was all they could do.
Yeah.
Now you've got most of these guys that are doing deathmatches now. They're doing deathmatches on top of the fact. I mean, I've said Matthew Justice has been one of my favorite guys to watch in 2019. I think he's had a hell of a year.
For sure.
Obviously, Mance Warner, one of the guys in independent wrestling in 2019. And obviously, I'll say this: whether it's deathmatch, whether it's just doing strong style, you can make a case for Nick Gage for Wrestler of the Year in 2019.
Yeah, probably.
Because there is nobody in independent wrestling that has that connection with the fans on the level that Nick Gage does. And obviously, this is the Nick Gage Invitational Tournament.
Yeah.
This is a tournament basically in his style, in his honor, and the people. I mean, I think Hollinger tweeted out. He said, I wasn't there when Jesus was alive, but I'm pretty sure it was probably something like this. And then it was literally Nick Gage's entrance walking through the curtain.
Nice.
That's how. I mean, like I said, I experienced it live at Two Cups, and it is something on a level that you don't find in indie wrestling. And then obviously, out of a deathmatch show, Game Changer probably shot one of their biggest angles they've ever done.
Yeah.
Gage throws it out before the show that he's going to defend the title throughout the tournament. Now, it's a deathmatch tournament, so it's not for... And I like this format for deathmatches because I think it takes some of the toll off the competitors. There were 4 triple threats, and the winners of the triple threat went to a 4-way final.
Yeah.
So, Gage wins his triple threat. An amazing match with Matthew Justice and Cody Rice.
Yeah.
Yes, that
what?
Cody Rice. Yeah, Cody Rice.
Was in the final?
No, Cody Rice was in the triple threat with Gage. I will give it to Cody, man. Cody held his own. Cody can go. Cody can do it. And Cody's one of those guys that does it in his gear. Doesn't wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Doesn't wear jeans. Cody did it in Cody's gear. And I got to give the man credit. He was out there with literally the king, as we call him, of deathmatch wrestling, Nick Gage, and Matthew Justice, who is, I'm pretty sure, a madman.
He's like the Duke of deathmatch wrestling or something.
Matthew Justice, once again...
the Earl, maybe?
Well, once again, Matthew Justice climbed up a wall.
Yeah.
And did a dive off the top of a goddamn wall.
Off the wall?
Yeah.
Did you see Jody Fleisch last night tried to
flip off the wall and broke the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
Did you hear that wall is going to have a podcast?
Really? Off the wall?
Off the wall of Jody Fleisch.
That might be a problem.
What?
The estate of Michael Jackson might have a problem if they call a podcast Off the Wall.
Oh.
That was the name of a Michael Jackson album.
Okay.
So, Nick Gage wins his 3-way, wins the 4-way, an amazing final with himself, Miyamoto, Mance Warner, and Alex Colon. And then, as he goes to address the crowd, he's attacked by a very large man with his face covered, gets hit from behind by a huge bundle of light tubes. And I knew exactly who it was. I popped because I'm like, I know who that is because I could see a little bit of his hair and I knew the size.
Yeah.
Because we've met the man. He's been on this podcast.
He has been on this podcast.
A friend of the podcast, Ricky Shane Page, shows up in Game Changer Wrestling, and this is essentially a story that goes back 3 years ago when Game Changer was just getting started. they were trying to work with Combat Zone Wrestling. DJ Hyde decided he didn't want to do that. Game Changer Wrestling interrupted the end of a Combat Zone show where Ricky had won Cage of Death. Ricky was has been one of the stalwarts of CZW, and it appears has finally made the jump to Game Changer Wrestling. He attacks Nick Gage, takes the belt, spray paints RSP on the title, and then literally walks out the front door of the building.
Is that what he spray painted RSP?
Yeah, spray painted RSP on the title.
Oh, see, to me it looks like he just spray painted like a cross out.
No, spray painted RSP.
He exited out.
And then goes. They obviously had a camera follow him out, and he cut probably about a minute and 10-second long promo. And for those of you, this is like go to YouTube. It's at Ricky Shane Page. Watch this promo. A minute and 10 seconds of promo time. And he says everything he needs to say and gets it over. You don't need to go out in the middle of the ring and cut a 20-minute promo every time in wrestling to tell your story. He did it in a minute and 10 seconds.
If you can't do it in a minute, it's two.
Holding the title up, saying, you can't go anywhere. He's like, I go to Europe for deathmatch wrestling. I go to Japan for deathmatch wrestling. I am deathmatch wrestling. I'm going to take your title. I'm going to take it to Europe. I'm going to take it to Japan. And then he looks right at the camera, holds up the title, and says, come get your belt, felon. And then walks off.
Yeah.
In 1 minute, they've built this match now, which, again, there's a backstory here that is very much a shoot backstory that, you can turn into a work here.
Yeah.
And it also helps out by the fact that Ricky is legitimately one of the nicest people in the world. The guy's, he's too nice to be, the joke is he's too nice to be a deathmatch wrestler. Ricky takes the title and walks off. And now, I've said this, and I posted this on I believe, Ringside Chat, or maybe it's PWT's VIP, I don't remember, but somebody posted the promo, and I said, here's the thing. Do not just throw this away on a random show. This is something Game Changer, I think, this is going to be Mania weekend.
Yeah.
This is the biggest, big fight independent wrestling match that you could have, because there's this 3-year-long thing of Game Changer and CZW's fade, essentially, and then Game Changer's rise, and now these two guys that were on opposite sides of that are finally going to fight in a death match. This is the biggest. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be Mania weekend on a Game Changer show. I am stoked to see this. It's like I said, in a few minutes of stuff that they did at this show, they told everything they need to tell, and beautifully done. For people that say, "Oh, independent wrestling doesn't do stories," or do this. Well, they did a story, and it sold it perfectly. I will shout out my boy Marcus Crane. Went out there. Did you see the picture of Marcus with the Devil's big red dick?
No.
Yeah, Marcus, of course, is his nickname, the Devil's big red dick, and Marcus came out with a bundle of 3 light tubes, painted red, with 2 red balloons underneath. Essentially, yeah. But him and Alex Colon and Jonathan Wolf.
Jonathan Wolf does that?
No, wasn't Jonathan Wolf. Shit. Who's the third guy? Hang on. Fuck. Riveting.
It's TurboGrafx 16 was a great show. How much of that did you watch?
I got home in time to see the end.
Okay. I didn't see all of it. Some of the opening round matches were that I missed. Carlos Romo defeated
Eric Ryan, by the way.
Eric Ryan.
Ryan was
okay. Then go ahead and I was just trying to stall for you. Go ahead and finish your story.
Eric Ryan, Marcus Crane, and Alex Colon went out and had. I called it a lot of people are calling it the death match of the year from the deathmatch fans. It's like they went out there and just absolutely tore it up. They went 18 minutes. They had the longest match of the show, and just insane spot after insane spot after insane spot, just tearing it up. I mean, Marcus, who had done a death match essentially the night before, but this, I mean, it's always one thing. I'm proud of my buddy because this is what he wanted to do, and he set out to do it. Main events Japan, and main events deathmatch shows all over the world, and just had a absolutely killer match. One match I got to show you on Game Changer that is not a death match. Alex Zane, Blake Christian, Gringo Loco, and Jake Lander.
Nice.
These guys went out there.
I heard Lander kind of had a star-making performance.
Lander looked great in this match. He really showed out. All four of these guys showed out. Gringo Loco might be the best luchador, one of the best luchadors in the world right now. He's that good. And you wouldn't expect it when you look at Gringo Loco. And then this guy just gets in the ring and does the most insane,
it's so funny to me. Go ahead.
High-flying moves that he can do. What were we going to say?
Gringo just looks like he should be the fifth Armstrong brother.
He does. He looks like Jesse James Armstrong. Road Dogg, for those. I'm really starting to understand what everybody sees about Blake Christian.
Yeah.
This carrot top looking, dude just is absolutely insane with the stuff that he's doing as a high flyer. And then Alex Zane.
Yeah.
If you're going independent wrestling breakout stars of 2019,
I think Christian and Zane both need to be in that discussion.
Literally, Alex Zane's a guy that's been around for a few years, but literally until July 4th of this year, nobody knew who he was.
Right.
And now he's getting booked everywhere in the country. So,
yeah.
Shout out to Alex Zane.
Because they were both on PWG this weekend, weren't they?
Yeah. They both worked the PWG, one of the PWG shows this weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're booked through Game Changer, and Alex, like I said, Alex Zane's just going everywhere now. Chikara, just all over the place. Like I said, and Zane just does. These guys did just some insane high flying, aerial over the top maneuvers, and got this crowd, which you think they're there for a deathmatch show, but they also appreciated great wrestling.
Yeah. And
this high flying style, and just this match just absolutely tore it up. This is something you would enjoy. I need to show you this match, but we should talk about Turbo Graps, our good friends over at Black Label Pro. Yeah. Shout out to Mikey and his crew, Stepstool Sarah, Jay Rose,
great ring announcer.
Dude, that kid brings so much energy. Mm-hmm. I love when I'd seen him maybe once or twice before.
Yeah,
but he brought it on this tournament. Dude, I gotta shout out, who's the one the guy from Freelance?
Kirby.
Kirby did the Nick Gage Invitational.
Yeah. And
Kirby also, what a great ring. We're blessed to have great ring announcers here in the Midwest.
Yes.
We need some better ones in Iowa, though.
I'll kill you. I mean, there's only one good ring announcer active in Iowa right now.
You're great, Alex. We know.
That's me. Senior Tigre is pretty good.
Senior Tigre is pretty good. Who does Revolver?
Still Sean C.
Is it still Sean? Okay.
Sean.
I know I don't think he's doing the trips to Ohio all the time. So I don't think he did New York this year. That's why I was a little confused.
Yeah.
But, Sean T's good too.
Did I say Sean C?
Yeah, Sean T.
Sean T. Yeah. No, it is Sean T.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'll just kind of run through the matches I missed because I didn't see all of them. Well, I tuned in during Jake Something and Nick Gage. Something got the win over Gage. I missed Carlos Romo and Wheeler Yuta, which I'll probably go back
watched
and
that
watch.
match.
Tom Lawler beat Jeremy Wyatt. That's another one I'd like to go back and watch. Jody Fleisch defeated Ethan Page. Another one. I'd probably go back and watch that one. Came in during Something and Gage. Great match. Something got the win. Nick Gage, how many times did he wrestle on Saturday? 4 times?
4 times. No, only 3.
Just three.
I had a feeling he was going to go under to Jake. Is there something there? It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Save him for the match later. What did you think of D'Lo and Jordy Grace? I've only seen the clip of where Jordy
Suicide Snapmare?
Yeah. What was that?
I'm calling it a suicide snapmare.
So Jordy goes for a tope suicida. D'Lo, I don't think he realized it and didn't turn around, and
I don't know.
It
ended up looking like a snapmare. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna say suicide snapmare, which is probably gonna become the new big spot
Yeah.
in all the indies. That was a fun match. I enjoyed it. Pretty short. D'Lo, not in the best shape, but moves okay.
D'Lo's obviously, he's older. He's a little bigger.
Yeah. D'Lo was never a body guy, though.
No.
Like, we talked about that when we were...
Dude, D'Lo wrestled something at Glory Pro, and that match was actually really good.
I watched that show as well. I watched that entire show. Damn it. Anyways, Warhorse and Lucky Kid had a good match. I was not too familiar with Lucky Kid. Is he
He is an Australian guy.
Okay. Him, Carlos Romo, and Jody Fleisch came over together, right?
Well, Fleisch and Romo's from Spain. Fleisch is from England. Lucky Kid's from Australia. The one thing about this too is a lot of these guys, some of them crisscrossed the country. Did Bola Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it might have been something with the Globe Theater. Bola had an off day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Carlos Romo, Lucky Kid, Jody, they all flew into Chicago.
Yeah.
And worked these shows, and then flew back on Sunday.
No.
Or no, Romo did. Lucky Kid did.
Lucky Kid was the only one that did.
Yeah. But no, so Marco did.
Marco
Stunt
did what?
Flew into Chicago Saturday, flew back to LA.
What did he do Saturday?
He was on Nick. We didn't talk about that on the NGI. He wrestled. Him and Tracy Smothers.
That's right. God, that must have been fucking crazy.
It was great. There's not much wrestling wise to talk about in that match, but boy, there was a lot.
Yeah, Danny Adams defeated Alley Cat.
Why?
She's like a heel there.
Is she a heel in Black Label?
Heel in Black Label, and had a bunch of guys come out to back her up and try to help her cheat, and then it backfired and Danny Adams still won.
Okay.
And then the main event for the IWTV Independent Wrestling Championship, Eric Stevens took on the surprise opponent Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy dropped the title, and the new IWTV champion was Eric Stevens.
Orange Cassidy took the L.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy, I believe, no, he's not. The longest well, if you consider, either way, Tracy Williams is the longest IWTV Independent Wrestling Champion, held it for 309 days.
Yeah, he was the first champion.
No, he wasn't.
Jonathan
Gresham was.
Gresham was. That's right.
Yes, Gresham held it for 126 days. I've got it right up here. Gresham held it for 126 days. Tracy held it for 309. Orange has held it twice now, and held it for 146 days the first time, and 104 days the second time. So combined 250 days. Chris Statlander held it for 14 days, and then Eric Stevens held it for. I'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that because.
And Eric Stevens said he would also defend the title in the tournament. That was the main event of night one, or part one rather.
We should preface this for people that aren't aware. This event took place over the course of, including the Nick Gage Invitational from Game Changer, took place in one building.
In one day.
3 events. A noon, 3:30, and 8 p.m. start time.
Yeah.
I unfortunately did not take the day off work because it ended up that I had not only one but two people offer to let me ride with them that week.
Yeah, you could have gone.
Yeah, I could have gone. I should have gone. I should have known. I should have taken the day off. Believe me, I was grumpy at work all day.
I bet.
Because I was not in Chicago for this event.
Well, and then the second show began with a Fatal 4-Way for the IWTV Independent Wrestling Championship, part of the TurboGrafx 16 tournament. Eric Stevens vowed to defend the title throughout the tournament, and he successfully defended it, defeating Gary J, Jake Something, and Tom Lawler in a fatal 4-way to make his way to the finals of the TurboGrafx 16.
How was that match? 'Cause that's a match I'm going to go back and watch.
Excellent.
That's
it was very good.
That sounds like that's 4 guys that like to hit people really, really, really hard.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of hard hitting. Then the second 4-way was Warhorse picked up the victory over Carlos Romo, Danny Adams, and Jody Fleisch. Pretty good match. I'd probably rate the opening match a little better. Jody Fleisch isn't. We'll talk about it when we talk about Glory Pro, but his physique is...
For Jody being essentially, I think he might be a few years older than me. I'm actually going to look that up.
Yeah, I got it. But 39.
So he is almost same age as me.
Yeah, he's younger than you.
By a couple months, he's younger than me. No, Jody's a kid. Jody is a guy. A lot of some people listening may not even know who Jody Fleisch is. Jody is a guy started in the British Indies when he was like 15 years old. Was an amazing high flyer in the early part of his career. I was a huge fan of his once I started getting tapes, especially he was on early Ring of Honor. Had his breakout performance was the CZW Best of the Best 2 tournament. This is a kid that did just amazing high flying. Went to Japan for Michinoku Pro. He had this...
Has he been active the whole time, or is this a resurgence?
So what happened was he had some nagging injuries and just some other issues. To literally quit, was gone from the business for several years, and then quietly started working again a few years ago. And he's made some trips over now. And I'm at 39 years old, absolutely shredded. You can tell this is a guy that probably hits the CrossFit gym pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I think kids kind of changes his style up a little bit. Still does the high flying though.
Oh my gosh.
And I think honestly, you know where I think it'd be the company I think should bring him in?
NXT UK?
No. Well, that would be a place, obviously. The one that I said for him, because I don't think he wants to work a full-time schedule.
Maybe MLW.
Is MLW.
Yeah, I can see
I'm like,
that.
Court, get on this phone call, man. Make that call. Get this guy in.
Yeah.
Because I think he could be an asset, especially for the way MLW tapes only about once a month. I think he would be an excellent addition for them. But he was great.
Yeah.
And then it's the tag match. This is probably Alex's favorite match of the show, I'm going to guess.
Oh, Violence is Forever versus Bear Country.
I know that you love you some Bear Country. So.
I do. I like both. I'm a big fan of both teams. Kevin Koo I've liked ever since I first saw him in
Dojo Pro.
Dojo Pro, yeah. That was the first time I was familiar with Kevin Koo, and obviously I'm a big Dom Guarini fan. Mutual friend of a friend of the podcast, Kat Carter. It was great, and I love Bear Country. So, it was a spectacle. I really enjoyed it. Then after that, we had Blake Christian and Alex Zane, and these two guys. I think they're gonna be in the 2019 into 2020. They're gonna be the equivalent of Warhorse and Gary J. Just these guys are gonna keep facing each other over and over and over again, and they're gonna keep delivering over and over and over.
And they're gonna keep doing crazy ass high flying spots that just
over
make you go
and over.
How do they?
And over.
Yeah, no, it's those two guys. I mean, like I said, the two breakout stars. I think of independent wrestling in 2019, and I think 2020 is gonna be set to be a big year for them. Now at this is the point where I got home. I got home literally right as they were coming back for this next match.
Okay.
The 8-man tag match, Blood Diamond, Jake Lander, Trey Lamar, Kobe Durst, and Josh Bishop. When did Josh Bishop join? Did I miss that?
I did.
I've watched every Black Label Pro show. I'm like, when did Josh Bishop join? I must have missed that one in there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they took on Ethan Page, who came to Ethan Page called out Blood Diamond, and then said he didn't care who his tag team partners were, and he had 3 random fans.
Yeah.
Jump up on the ring apron
Yep.
to be his tag team partners. Thankfully, I don't think I don't know if Mikey Blanton would have been too happy with
I think so.
when that went down and thankfully for all parties involved, the Space Pirates, Shane Saber and Space Monkey, the former Black Label Pro Tag Team Champions, ran in along with a guy who I've become quite a fan of, Mr. Logan Stunt.
Yeah.
Logan, not even dressed to compete. I don't think he was there. I think he was just there hanging out.
Yeah.
He was literally wrestling in jeans and a t-shirt. I mean, Shane Saber had on a suit jacket, so I don't think. I mean, the monkey dresses like the monkey, so. But I think I don't think these guys were necessarily dressed to compete. But this turned into a wild, crazy 8-man tag team match. Obviously,
absolutely insane.
The never-ending feud of Ethan Page versus Blood Diamond.
Right.
If there's a building and there's a wrestling show, somewhere Ethan Page is probably fighting a member of Blood Diamond.
Yeah, quite possibly. Then after that, we had the BLP Midwest title match. AJ Gray, the champion, took on Jonathan Wolf. I think I must have been doing something during this match. I don't really remember this one. What did you think, Regal?
I'm a big fan of the Rich Homie Juice, and little did we know this turned out to be a pretty big weekend for him.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is my first time seeing Jonathan Wolf. I've heard of his name. I've heard the name. I know who he was.
He was in a tag match in SCI weekend. Did you not watch that?
Oh yeah, I did. He's part of IFHY.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have seen Jonathan Wolf before. This is a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Kind of a statement win for AJ Gray.
Yeah.
Was this his first or second title defense?
He's held the title for 59 days. Let me click on the matches here. I love this feature on Cage Match. Yeah. He defeated against Jonathan Wolf, Craig Mitchell. He defended it at AWE in Atlanta against Takuri. And he won it from Jake Parnell.
Oh, yeah. Now, this next match, I love this next match, man. For the first time ever, Swoggle got an opponent his height.
You're an asshole.
I am an asshole. Swoggle took on Marco Stunt.
Jesus.
No, come on. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know we love Marco.
Yeah.
Marco's a great kid. I love him. But no, Swoggle taking on Marco. This was fun.
I mean,
obviously it's not going to be a technical classic, but
right.
Obviously, and we'll be recording probably before the show next Monday, unfortunately. So, actually, probably right before the show next Monday.
Probably.
Next Monday night, Game Changer Wrestling presenting Last Call, the final independent shows for Joey Janela, Orange Cassidy. Oh, no, not for Orange. Final ones for Joey Janela, Marco Stunt, and Jungle Boy.
That's not been changed?
I'm wondering if there's gonna be a card somebody change on that, but obviously. No, so next Monday night, the final indie appearances for Marco. Obviously kind of did a obviously wrestled Swoggle, wrestled Tracy Smothers on Saturday, did the 10-man tag for PWG on Sunday. Marco, a lot of these guys, Orange was in that.
Was that his PWG debut?
No, he was in Bola last year.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. No, Orange was in that tag match, so obviously a lot of the guys that were on Bola Saturday or Sunday kind of did their swan song, final farewell to PWG. And then this Thursday night, AIW doing Bad Boys show called Bad Boys for Life. The tribute, the final show for Joey Janela, which they added, and kudos to AIW, man. They added this show on because of Joey having terrible travel problems about a month and a half ago, where he was supposed to come in for his final shot. The one good thing is booked on that show Thursday night, which you can watch on Fight TV. Our boy, One Called
Manders,
gonna be on
Corn Belt Cowboy.
Gonna be
winner of SCI, Best of Black and Brave.
Gonna be on the AIW Absolute Intense Wrestling show, but now we'll be watching. I'm gonna be watching the Game Changer show Monday night, and I'm assuming you're gonna watch it with me. So
I'm gonna close my eyes the entire time because I'm gonna be so sad that all of these guys are leaving wrestling.
But they're gonna be on TV again on Wednesday.
Quite possibly.
But again, we'll talk about that next week.
All right.
Then we had
the main event.
The main event. Eric Stevens versus the Warhorse. I know this is hindsight. I kind of had a feeling going into this. I looked at the bracket and I'm like, I think Warhorse. This is a guy that BLP has built up since their first, pretty much. I think been on just about possibly every. I'm not going to go back and look at this, but he's been on, if not every, just about every Black Label Pro show. Mm-hmm. Obviously. Warhorse, a Midwest independent guy, so I've known him for many years. And then Eric Stevens, I mean, the return of Eric Stevens is definitely one of the best stories in independent wrestling in 2019.
Yeah.
A guy who had that huge run around that 2007, 2009 Ring of Honor, was the Ring of Honor television champion, had a huge legendary feud with Roderick Strong, was huge in FIP. Again, a guy who just left the business, went and raised a family, and then just decided, hey, I'm going to come back and wrestle again.
Yeah.
So, as absolutely crushing it since he's come back. And I saw him teaming up with Tom Lawler against Violence is Forever at 2 Cups. I've seen him live. Just great, and by all accounts, great guy. Great to have him back on the indie scene. Really engaging on social media too. Great Twitter follow if you have.
Oh, absolutely. I do follow him at Eric Stevens 82.
You can tell a guy who loves wrestling, and is super great to see him get a second run. Then Sunday.
Yeah.
Man, indie wrestling absolutely killed him. We didn't even talk about ICW or freelance.
Right, I watched a little bit of freelance, but not.
Unfortunately,
talking about it.
ICW didn't get over in time.
Yeah.
But we should shout out my close personal friend Blair Onyx and her close personal friend Elena Black, representing for SCW Pro in the first freelance all women's scramble.
Yeah.
Had Jody Threat, Cara Noya.
Okay.
Who else was in there?
I don't know.
I'm forgetting a couple people. But no, they were in the opening match of freelance. Haven't had a chance to watch that one yet, unfortunately, because they were running ICW New York and it didn't get over in time. Mm-hmm. But shout out to the ladies, especially my close personal friend Blair Onyx, not Alex's friend, my friend.
Shut up. I'll just hit stop right now and you'll be done.
It's not my fault. She likes me but doesn't like you.
It is your fault.
How is it my fault?
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
But independent IWTV absolutely killing it with basically
great investment. If you like wrestling and you like watching wrestling and you're not paying you're not dropping the $10 a month for IWTV, I'll tell you what, I'm watching a lot more IWTV than I am WWE Network.
Five live wrestling shows in one weekend.
In 3 days, yeah.
Well, technically 4 for IWTV. No, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5.
Yeah. 6
shows if you counted the one that was on Fight TV.
If we're putting over IWTV, why would we count the one that was on Fight TV?
Yeah. Dude, I wish we could have seen the dark match on Glory Pro.
What was it?
A 6-man tag. Camaro Jackson, Kyle Pro, and Levi Cruz versus Lethal Injection of Brad Montgomery and Brad Mercury and Briar Mercury, and the Disruptor Victor Analog.
Oh, that would have been a great match, I'm sure. Seeing as I know about 2 people in that match.
We know Levi Cruz.
No, I don't, actually.
You don't?
No, I don't. I know...
I've seen Levi Cruz before.
I know Kyle Pro, and I know Victor Analog.
Okay. I've seen Levi Cruz. Isn't he? That's the Amish guy.
Is it?
Isn't it? I thought it was.
Maybe. I don't fucking know. Oh, sorry.
No, the iPay-per-view itself opened up with Hot Fire, Myron Reed,
Get ready for double duty.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Taking on Jody Fleisch. This was a great freaking opener.
Oh my god, it was insane.
Obviously, two guys, kind of two different generations, kind of cut from the same cloth. I think is what I could say. High flyers, super high impact. And yes, Jody Fleisch tried to use a wall that apparently wasn't load bearing.
Wasn't as sturdy as you are, huh?
Yes, he didn't. He should have had me to try to do a moonsault off of. But
would you do it again?
Here's what I've always said about that. Is now that it is what it is, I don't want to. If somebody would have had me do it, if I'd have done it again back then, yeah, I probably wouldn't have thought of it. Now that it is what it is, and it's become this special thing, I don't think I want to do it again. I think the one time was as good as it is, and I think I'm going to leave it at that.
And you really honestly believe that it's the only reason Seth Rollins became famous?
Absolutely not. Don't say shit like that. Because then somebody's going to stooge off that you said that. And then they're like, well, Regal said the only reason Seth Rollins got famous because he did moonsault off him. And then I'm going to get massive heat from fucking people. God damn you, Alex. No.
You heard it
Seth
here
Rollins.
first.
I had absolutely nothing to do with Seth Rollins becoming famous.
He said,
fuck.
He said Seth Rollins would work at the Quick Star here in Davenport if he hadn't done a moonsault off of Timothy Regal's
Absolutely
belly.
not correct. Fucking A. I hate you.
That's what you get for trying to steal my jokes.
Second match on Glory Pro, we had Alley Cat taking on Cole Radrick. Dude, Cole Radrick looking great.
Yeah.
That's a kid that
Cole
drops.
Radrick.
Looking like he's dropped some weight. Definitely hitting
Cole
the gym.
Radrick.
And obviously, Alley Cat off the chest of Timothy Regal favorite.
Not really.
Well, I mean, she drinks White Claw and takes pictures with me, so.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But a good match here between, this was IFH, two members of IFHY. It's essentially.
Are they both members of that
Yes.
thing? I don't know who's all
There's
in
like
IFHY.
10 people in it.
Okay.
So,
it's not the Lost Boys. That's something different. That's another Indiana group, isn't it? The Lost
it is.
Boys.
Then they had a four-way: Carlos Romo, JDX, Joshua Bishop, and Angel Dorado.
Isn't it pronounced Angel?
Is it Angel Dorado? I don't know. I'd never seen this kid before.
Angel Dorado?
Yeah.
It's Airwolf's little brother.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yep, Golden Angel.
That makes a lot of sense because he's very similar to Airwolf.
Yeah.
So
I think that's common knowledge that Angel Dorado is Airwolf's little brother.
okay, I did not know that. No, Angel Dorado picks up the victory here. Really good four-way match. Obviously, he had two high flyers. We had three high flyers. Like kind of Joshua Bishop was the.
JDX is kind of in the middle there.
Yeah, JDX in the middle, but then obviously Joshua Bishop. That dude's a hoss.
He's
so
there, yeah.
we got to put over Joshua Bishop. Cat will be mad if we don't.
Okay.
Then we had.
Cat don't listen to this shit. Cat didn't listen to this shit when she was on it.
Well, that's true.
Does anybody listen to this shit?
Probably not. Nobody cares about your podcast, Alex. Nobody will tell you that. Inside joke, folks. Inside joke.
I saw that one.
Yes.
I saw that one.
You got it. I knew you got it when I said it.
Did you send me that?
No, I didn't say that. One was probably sent by Ook Waven.
No, I might have just found it myself.
Okay. Ethan. Next up, we had Ethan Price taking on Tommy Vendetta.
First time seeing both of these guys.
Yeah, first time seeing both of these guys. Ethan Price, to me, I saw a good tweet. I can't remember. I think it was just somebody posted. Might have been Hollinger. Somebody give Hollinger the credit on this one. Said
Hollinger
Ethan
didn't watch the show, so I don't think it was Hollinger.
Was it not Hollinger? Okay, it might have been somebody else. But said Ethan Price looks like the third guy to get killed off in a Friday the 13th movie.
Oh. Ethan Price was one of Alley Cat's lackeys the night before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm trying to think. McDrea and I were talking, and she told me where he was from.
Okay.
Ethan Price she says Texas guy. And then apparently Tommy Vendetta's an Ohio guy.
Yeah. First time seeing Tommy Vendetta. Great look.
Yeah.
I like this kid.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was Rose at first when he had the bag on his head.
Yeah, I like this kid a lot. Tall, lanky guy, pretty well built. Has a rugged look to him. I think this kid's got obviously really fresh, but got a lot of potential. Being mentored, aka beaten by Jake Something. When did Something turn heel in Glory Pro? I've been out of the loop on Glory Pro for a while.
I haven't watched Glory Pro in about over a year.
Jake Something's a heel. Paco's a heel. And Danny Adams is a babyface. How the hell that ever happened? What the hell, man?
That's what happens when we leave, huh?
Yeah. So after this match, after Tommy Vendetta loses, Jake Something comes out and starts beating the tar out of his protege.
Then he gets saved.
Then
you're looking at the real deal now.
D'Lo Brown comes out and makes a save. I really enjoyed this, man.
Yeah, it was a fun match.
D'Lo and Jake, I mean, it's not going to win any awards for technical skill, but they had a really fun match.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed this. Like I said, I would have liked to have gone this weekend to meet D'Lo. I've never met D'Lo.
Really?
I loved D'Lo back in the day, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
D'Lo was the European champion,
the Eurocontinental champion.
Yeah, I love me some D'Lo. But after that, we had Airwolf and Jake Lander. This was pretty good. I think I might have been doing something during this match. I don't remember much.
Which one was this?
Airwolf and Jake Lander.
That was a good match.
I think I was making some dinner at this time.
Okay.
So I had it on, but I wasn't paying much attention.
Yeah.
After that, we had the besties in the world, Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett, versus Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
God damn, again, Matt ain't gonna win any technical awards, but damn, this was fun. Rock and Roll, man, they're still out there kicking ass and taking names. And great workers. And I got to see Ricky and Robert do the Truly Madly Deeply.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Why was it a double DQ? I missed the finish.
They both grabbed the ref. They both guys, they started brawling and both guys threw the ref down. And the ref called for the DQ. So the ref got massive heat, obviously. And then after they cut the promo on the ref, Ricky and Robert did the Truly Madly Deeply with Fitchett and Vega. Which, goddamn, even Carlos Romo was out there saying, yep, this is life now.
Yeah.
Then after that, we had a friend of the podcast, our boy, the Corn Belt Cowboy.
The man called one called.
Just doesn't roll off the tongue as much, does it?
He's the man called one called.
Doesn't work as much.
Man called one called.
He's still listed by the other name on Cage Match. They need to change that. But the Corn Belt Cowboy, the one called Manders, was supposed to face Stephen Wolf. I was really looking forward to this. I was pretty bummed out when Stephen unfortunately had to back out due to a cracked, what's this bone called?
Fibia?
I think cracked fibia. Cracked bone in his leg. 7 stars my ass. Unfortunately, cracked a bone in his leg. Actually wrestled on it at Zawa last week.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he cracked it during a match at Evolve the week before, I think.
Jeez.
Said he thought he just maybe bruised the bone or had a deep bruise.
Yeah.
Thought he could work through it, and then finally after the pain got worse after the Zawa match, he went to the doctor and found out that he had a cracked bone. Stephen Wolf is in a walking boot. Was at the time, and I'm assuming probably still is. Wishing him a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
Again, I'll say friend of the podcast, guy I've known for a very long time. So
I'm comfortable saying that.
Yeah, Steven, a great guy. So wishing Steven well. But so everybody's wondering who is Steve Manders going to face, and out came Mr. Hot Fire Myron Reed, working double duty tonight.
Yeah, no kidding.
And man, Manders versus the Hot Fire, they absolutely delivered. I know this. don't think this is the first time they've ever faced each other. I think they might have an IWA. Well, I think with like a multi-man at IWA.
Yeah, probably.
So,
at the very least.
Maybe some stuff at they might have a match at WCWO.
Yeah, they Rockstar. I think they've had a match.
Yeah,
before.
so this is not the first time they faced each other, but these guys tore it down. I think a show stealer of a match. And I'm not just saying that because Manders is my friend. I'm saying it because I believe it. These two guys had a hell of a great match. The crowd got super into it. They gave Manders a standing ovation after the match. Myron Reed did pick up the victory. This is for, I think they're adding a secondary title to Glory Pro. Is that what the story is here?
Championship.
The Midwest Championship?
I think so.
So yeah, Myron basically entered himself in the tournament in this match and did pick up the victory after I thought Manders had it at one point. He went for the Kinnick Stadium Stampede, but Myron unfortunately got out of it.
Yes.
But hit the doctor bomb at one point, and I thought it was going to be over. But great match between two great wrestlers. Then we had, and this was so this is the moment where my brain went, what? When I realized that, yes, no new friends of Danny Adams and Mike Outlaw are somehow baby faces.
Right.
I need to go back and figure out how that one happened, because damn, the last time I knew that crowd hated Danny. So
yeah,
they were taking on the guys who I guess the show before stole the tag team titles from the Besties, the 4-star heroes, Matt Nix and my old buddy Nick Brubaker.
Yeah. Well, the 4-star heroes are usually
Matt Nix and Chris Castro.
Yeah. Now they've added a third member in Brubaker.
Which I don't kind of get that because Bloomington ain't nowhere near Chicago, but
I don't know.
I'll just throw that out there. But no. So this match was, well, a brawl.
Yeah.
Kind of a train wreck.
Yeah.
And my boy Nick Brubaker needs about 15 stitches to close his eye. Did you see the picture he posted? So I think it was Danny Adams went for a dive to Nix and Brubaker.
Yeah.
And when Brubaker took the dive, he went back. There's no guardrails or anything at Glory Pro. I think he slipped and landed face first on a chair.
Ooh.
And got a very, very nasty gash right above his eye. He was bleeding. Like, you could see, like, there was a shot where they kind of went over the shoulder, and you could see the puddle of blood that was quickly developing on the floor. Nasty gash. Thankfully, it looks like Nick's okay. This
my second favorite band.
Who?
Puddle of Blood.
Puddle of Blood? Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I've heard Puddle of Blood at least doesn't stop a show in the middle to accuse a fan of stealing his house.
What?
You never heard about that?
No.
Lead singer of Puddle of Blood? Dude, that guy's fucking insane. Like,
really?
Apparently, like, he, like, at one point, in the middle of a show, stopped the show, pointed at a random fan, and said that the random fan stole his house. Was trying to steal his house or some shit. It was fucking nuts. Like, oh yeah, type in Wes Scanlon. Yeah, look up his Wikipedia. There's some crazy shit.
I'm good.
But no, the 4-star heroes did retain using a little bit of underhanded tactics here.
Some chicanery.
Yeah. So, but and then KLD came out. KLD says he's close to returning, and then took a couple of chair shots to the shoulder, so he may not be close to returning after that.
What? What did he hurt his shoulder?
He had surgery about a year ago.
On his shoulder?
On his arm, I believe so.
Okay.
Then we had the triple threat match for the vacated, and unfortunately no story as to what happened. Eddie Kingston was the Crown of Glory champion. Eddie Kingston did not make it to the event.
Huh.
So
yeah, I don't know what that's about.
They added AJ Gray into the match, and it was AJ Gray versus Kurt Stallion versus Paco Gonzalez. It's also weird to see Paco getting booed.
I liked it.
I do like Paco as a heel, though.
Yeah.
But it's just weird to see, because everywhere we've gone, Paco has always been the, Ricky Morton, underdog babyface.
Yeah.
But AJ Gray, Kurt Stallion, Paco, great match. Obviously, all three of these guys are really good. I'm a huge fan of AJ Gray, and I'm a huge fan of Kurt Stallion. These two guys hard hitting. Paco is, and they're trying to just basically the story of the match is Paco just keeps trying to steal pins, which I mean, as a heel, that's what you're supposed to do in triple threat. So
right,
great thing. AJ Gray ends up picking up the victory, and KLD, who is the Booker of Glory Pro, pulled the curtain back and said that they did not tell him he was winning the title. Huh. So he has this shocked look on his face when he wins the belt that apparently was genuine because he didn't know.
Good for him.
But big weekend for AJ Gray is a guy, again, another one of those guys that I think, as I've said, as I've become fond of saying, as spots are opening up on the indie scene in the next, literally in the next week. Yeah. As spots are opening up, I think AJ Gray is a guy that you're going to see who is going to explode into those spots. So
I think that's a fair assessment.
Obviously, big weekend of wrestling. Go check it out. I think we should get a goddamn IWTV promo code. But Dylan Hales, hit me up. Give me an IWTV promo code.
Not a bad idea.
I'll do it this way. I'm not even getting paid for this one, so I'm gonna give a promo code for a friend of mine, I'll call him a friend. If you have not signed up for IWTV before, you can sign up and get 20 days free to see all this great action. And in that 20 days, you're gonna get the season 2 premiere of Uncharted Territory. You're gonna get. Did you see the clips from the Beyond show?
Yeah.
Where they're wrestling. Beyond did a show yesterday wrestling on a beach. Unfortunately, not live streamed.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I want to watch that show.
I will definitely. That's one of those shows I will definitely, like you said, we tend to watch more stuff live, but I will absolutely go back and watch that Beyond show just to see it because it looked great. Apparently, the creatures of the deep legitimately they made it look like they came out of the ocean.
That's awesome.
Like all kinds of theme stuff. The Platinum Honeys were lifeguards. Yeah, the season premiere next Thursday night of Beyond Wrestling Uncharted Territory. Season 2, and well, we can't let the cat out of the bag, unfortunately, but if you're a fan of local wrestling, you might see somebody on Uncharted Territory that you like.
You might see something.
Not that one.
That you like.
Oh, is he gonna be on too?
I don't know.
But
why did Road Dogg retweet this teenage-looking girl's bathroom selfie?
I don't
think. His
think.
Daughter?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I want to know. Why are we asking? I don't care. But no, obviously, folks, it was a big week of independent wrestling. We were like, what are we gonna talk about? Let's just talk about. There was so much wrestling. We'll just talk about it.
We watched a lot of wrestling this week.
We watched a lot of wrestling this week. We're going to watch a lot of wrestling this week. We're going to watch wrestling on Wednesday night. Did you watch NXT, by the way?
I watched some of the second hour. I don't have cable.
Okay.
And that's why
you get the whole show. Thursday night, they put the whole show up now.
And again, if it's not live, I don't.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, next week, we'll be coming to you... We'll record on Monday. I'll probably say, hey, just post the damn show when we're done recording it because I want to give people time to listen to it. We'll preview everything that's going on next week. We got obviously Raw on Monday, which will be before we get done. But we got Game Changer Wrestling Monday night. We have Tuesday, not SmackDown. Tuesday now the only night that doesn't have wrestling on it.
Wow, what are we going to do on Tuesday, Regal?
I don't know.
Maybe NWA will drop on Tuesday night.
That's kind of what I'm getting. Well, that's the only night that's open. So maybe the NWA studio show will drop. Did you see they signed Eddie Kingston?
No, I did not.
Yes, NWA announced the signing of Eddie Kingston. So they are announcing talent for these studio tapings that are going to happen next month in Atlanta. Very interested to see what the studio wrestling.
Yeah.
I hope literally make it look as much like Techwood Drive as you can. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But Wednesday night, obviously, we'll talk all about this next week. You got the Wednesday night.
Is there any way
War,
wrestling
baby.
on Wednesdays?
I mean, there might be a little wrestling on Wednesdays we got to talk about.
Yeah.
Thursday night, the season premiere of Beyond Wrestling Uncharted Territory on Beyond Wrestling. Use the promo. Oh, I didn't give them the promo code. I'm going to give you the promo code for a friend of ours. Use promo code MJFSucks. You get 20 days free. That is the promo code for our good friends over at the Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling Podcast.
Yes.
By the way, if you have...
Did you watch the Cheerful Wrestling Show?
I did. It's great.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah. Sarah Joy Shockey now has her own little sub-show.
Yeah.
They ran it during intermission. I guess it's going to get its own little subcategory on indie wrestling called the Cheerful Wrestling Show.
I think they need to produce more content like that.
Definitely. It's super fun. If you have not, if you're a fan of wrestling, if you're a fan of comedy, go Spotify, wherever you get your music.
Testify.
Not Testify.
Oh.
But Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, wherever you get your stuff from. Go pick up the Marty DeRosa Live from Parts Unknown comedy album.
Wow.
Absolutely hilarious comedy album. Including appearance by AAW's ring announcer Jimmy D on the show.
Nice.
Marty DeRosa, one of the great ambassadors of Midwest independent wrestling.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So go use that promo code. Like I said, Beyond Wrestling. When we got obviously Friday night, the premiere of SmackDown on Fox. Alex, did you see the clip of the Vikings announcers talking about Rey Mysterio?
Yes, I did. I don't
holy shit. Here's what I'm going to say about that. And if you have not seen this, essentially, this announcer goes, hey, he's wearing a mask like a luchador or something. He's like he's Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Like a luchador or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's Rey Mysterio. He's not like a luchador, you dumb fuck. He is the fucking luchador!
He is the motherfucking luchador.
I'm sorry. You paid $1 billion for this product, Fox.
Yeah.
Tell your fucking sports announcers to not bury it and give them maybe, I don't know, a few fucking talking points if they don't watch wrestling. Okay, I get it. Not everybody does. But give them some talking points and don't have them bury the fucking product that you're going to put on your fucking network that technically is going to fall under Fox Sports, even though, surprise kids, wrestling's fake.
Whoa, I thought SmackDown's going to be real though now, right?
No.
Wouldn't that be something?
Hey, if Merrick Brave can break kayfabe, can tell you wrestling's fake on BB Brave, I can tell you wrestling's fake too.
What if they made SmackDown a shoot?
God damn it.
Who would be the champion?
Brock Lesnar. Who's going to be the fucking champion anyway?
Yeah.
Kofi ain't lasted 3 fucking minutes.
Oh,
but we'll talk about that
Did
next
you
week.
say